we have a matchup of heavyweights. Battle-tested Monte Barrett will take on unbeaten Owen What the Heck Beck in an elimination bout. Now, who the heck is What the Heck Beck? What the heck is he doing in the top 10? And who the heck did What the Heck beat to get there? Given today's heavyweight landscape, not a big surprise. Yes, the Jamaican-born, Nashville-based Beck is undefeated. And yes, he KO'd his last 4 opponents within 3, but largely versus nondescript opposition. Now, he's unbeaten but untested. His toughest fight versus a higher quality guy.
Yeah, he really is. And he's 28 years of age, so this is very late for him to be having his major moment in the sun. He thinks he's ready. He's ranked in the top 10 in every organization, so we'll see if he is ready against a good contender.
And let us take a look at the man he'll be taking on. And that will be Monte Barrett, also from Jamaica, Queens in New York. A tough former street fighter, high school football player, got here tonight by virtue of his last 2 performances. A career best split decision over Dominic Gwynn in Gwynn's backyard of Little Rock, Arkansas. And before that, again, in his opponent's home state, a fight most gave him no chance. He got off the canvas to drop Joe Macy, but lost by majority decision. Al, a resilient fighter, relegated to the role of stepping stone throughout his career. But as opponents are finding out, particularly of late, they'd better watch where they step.
Yeah, you know, he had an 18-month layoff from boxing in which he said he got rejuvenated and fell in love with the sport again. Since then, he's 5-1. Also ranked in the top 10 in all organizations. Monte Barrett thinks at 33, he's finally ready to take that step into a championship match.
His first fight, though, in some 11 months, but he promises that Beck will hit the deck. Let's check the numbers as we go to the tail of the tape. Monte Barrett is 33 years old, 5 years older than Beck. 1.5-inch height advantage for Barrett. The reach all even. At yesterday's weigh-in, Beck outweighed Barrett by 16 pounds. And let's check the key unified rules for this fight. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th round, the fight's ruled a no decision. If it happens after the end of round 4, they go to the scorecards. So here at the Savas Center, which is really filling up, we're getting ready for Monte Barrett versus Owen Beck in St. Louis. Heavyweight scheduled for 12. Let's get the formal introductions from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the Savas Center here in the beautiful city of St. Louis, Missouri. Well, fans, we have a big night of action coming away, and it's all brought to you by Don King Productions in association with the Savas Center, Showtime, and the undisputed king of beers, Budweiser. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the IBF, President Marion Muhammad, Supervisor Mahassan Scott, along with the WBC, President Jose Sulaiman, Supervisor Luis Escalona, along with the Missouri Office of Athletics. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Kansas City, Missouri, Jerry Griffin. From London, Belgium, Bob Logist. And from Richmond, Virginia, Vaughn LaPrade. Introducing our 3rd man to the ring, the referee in charge of this bout, Jay Nady. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing, a WBC and IBF Heavyweight Championship elimination bout. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing yellow trunks with black trim, fighting out of Nashville, Tennessee, by way of Negril, Jamaica. He weighed in at 234 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with 24 wins, no losses, 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Ranked number 4 in the world by the WBC, number 10 heavyweight in the world by the IBF. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated Owen What the Heck Beck. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner in this 12-round championship elimination attraction, wearing red trunks with silver trim, joining us from his home in Queens, New York. He weighed in at a ready 218 pounds with a record of 30 wins, 3 losses. He has 16 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, ranked the number 3 heavyweight in the world by the WBC, number 7 by the IBF. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Monte "Two Guns" Barrett. Once again, our third man of the ring, Jay Nady, now to give instructions. 12 rounds of action scheduled.
You guys have any questions? I gave you instructions for dressing room. Above all, obey my commands and defend yourself at all times. Touch glove now, let's go to work. Thank you.
Some of you may be wondering, why are these two men contenders? But such is the state of the weak heavyweight division right now. Barrett, not normally a fast starter, but clearly has a better level of opposition. His last 4 opponents, a combined 90 and 8. Meanwhile, Owen Beck's last 4 opponents, 82, 41, and 4. Beck, who fought 5 times in 2004, originally slated to fight James Toney, but Toney got injured, so Barrett was next. And Barrett has been in there with Vladimir Klitschko, Lance Whitaker, Joe Macy. Lost decisions to Macy and Whitaker. Stopped in the 7th by Klitschko. Beat Tim Witherspoon and Greg Page, both past their prime. Monte Barrett in the red, Owen Beck in the gold.
The win that put Monte Barrett back on the map was the win over Dominic Quinn, and the fact that he'd been beating decent heavyweights is evidenced by the record that you stated before that. And so Monte Barrett's a guy everyone knows he's had talent, Steve. He's just never quite stepped up to the plate. Now he feels like he's got the maturity. Now it's important for him in this fight to really go after Owen Beck.
No need to hold his head down.
Barrett may have raised more eyebrows in defeat when he went down half a dozen times versus Vladimir Klitschko. 2000 in London, he showed tremendous heart. He'll do what he has to do. He's a survivor and knows how to deal with adversity. Speaking of that, from the category you think you've got problems, when Owen Beck was 16, he was accidentally shot in the abdomen. The bullet still lodged in his body, and last December he totaled his car and walked away unscathed. So this is nothing.
Yeah. So far in this match, we have to like what we're seeing. 2 heavyweights throwing lots of punches. Beck just doing a good job of going downstairs, and Barrett trying very much to land that right hand. This is a nice first round, an active first round for a couple of heavyweights.
Tonight's winner in position to fight IBF heavyweight champion Chris Bird, or the winner between WBC champ Vitaly Klitschko and Hasim Rahman.
Stop, stop. Let him go, let him go. Step back, please.
You know, no one's ever questioned Monte Barrett's technique. He's a pretty sound fighter. It's more a question of his passion in there, his aggressiveness, and we're seeing that tonight along with Beck's.
Stop.
When he's on, Barrett
don't push his head down
can
like
box
that, okay?
with almost any heavyweight. His weakness in some of the bigger fights, he would lose his concentration. Yes. He'd loop his right hand and left hook. Much more effective when he throws the straight right and the straight jab. Third man of the ring is Jay Nady, who will not be double dating with Zab Judah after the show.
There is some irony there, as fans will remember. Jay was the referee in the loss that Judah had to Costa Tszyu, and Judah went after him in the ring afterwards, feeling that the knockdown was called prematurely.
Stop! Don't punch when I say stop.
Subsequently
now box.
Suspended.
I didn't see them at the hotel sharing a cocktail.
I doubt that you will. Judah has other things on his mind tonight. Barrett talked about at times can lose focus. He was very focused in his pivotal last fight. So a nice left hook right hand combination against Dominic Quinn. Very effective weapon. Final seconds of the opening round, scheduled for 12. A heavyweight elimination affair here as the lead up fight to Spinks Judah. Well, Al has more on how tonight's strategy might unfold.
Monte Barrett has sometimes been too passive in fights, not throwing enough punches. He needs to attack. Sometimes he doesn't get leverage on his punches. Instead, they're arm punches. That won't do tonight. And Barrett has an excellent right hand, and it can land against Beck. Owen Beck leaves his left hand low, and that will invite the Barrett right hand. He needs to keep it up. More than one jab will keep Barrett at bay during this fight. And Monte Barrett can be hit with the left hook, and Beck has a good one. He needs to keep throwing it.
Up. Bring the ice out of the corner, please.
Round 2 scheduled for 12 from St. Louis. Monte Barrett, the more experienced fighter, landing the double jab in the red trunks. Owen Beck undefeated, but doesn't have the level of opposition as Monte Barrett, wearing the gold with the black trim, and that jab of Barrett's is finding a home now. Trying to set up the power punch with the jab, but missed with the right.
Owen Beck is keeping that left hand up much better, and that's why some of the right. There's the hook by Owen, which we mentioned in the keys to victory. That could be very important for him.
And a nice right hand off the head by Monte Barrett. And then back comes Owen Beck with the jab. Some pretty good exchanges here.
Very good exchanges of both men, showing good technique and being very, very aggressive. And that's what you want in a heavyweight match, where sometimes it can become a sleepwalking situation.
In the past, Beck has been accused of keeping his hands too low and not jabbing enough, but we're seeing more of that jab, and his hands are up.
Keep your head up. Box.
He was one of a generation of fighters influenced by his idol, Muhammad Ali, who got away with keeping that left hand low, but not everyone could do it.
Stop! 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 Hit him really low that time. Keep him up. Box.
Barrett being cautioned by Jay Nady for the low blows. Barrett has to be careful not to do it too often, or he'll get a point deducted.
I like the way Jay Nady told him, though. That was a respectful way to tell a fighter. He knew it wasn't on purpose.
Well, he got his attention.
Yeah.
With a nice jab by Barrett in close.
I didn't expect this fight to be fought at such close quarters, Steve, and that's a little surprising.
Yeah, Barrett more of a boxing heavyweight, but he's pounding away on the inside. But Beck fights his way out nicely. And gets the crowd behind him. Back comes Barrett.
Tremendous uppercut by Monte Barrett.
And down goes Beck.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You okay? Hey, come to me. You all right?
Flash knockdown. He got up quickly. That's only the second time in 25 professional fights he's been on the canvas. The first time was against a fighter named Byron Polly, but Beck came back to knock Polly out in the first round.
Monte Barrett isn't by trade an inside fighter, but he's making it go here. There's that left hook by Owens. If he keeps throwing it, he might make something happen even while he's in trouble.
And a right hand over the top by Monte Barrett. Swinging for the fences now, Al.
He's got Beck a little shook.
Now he goes to the body with the left hook, does Barrett. Beck comes back with a chopping overhand right.
This is fun.
Furious action in round 2.
Hey, baby! Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's what we're talking. Now, Owen, don't get careless. All right, just think. Put a little more water. Huh? Don't get careless. All right? It was a little step on your foot.
Beck and Barrett were battling on the inside. Barrett throws this uppercut. That was the foreshadowing to what would happen here. The right hand and the hook from Barrett. Barrett not known to have the best left hook, but he's got a decent punch, and that one sent Owen Beck down. Another look on the inside. That was a terrific uppercut by Barrett. And you think when Barrett gets in an exchange of hooks with Owen Beck, it would be not to his benefit, but in this case, it was.
Monte Barrett certainly doesn't show signs of any ring rust after being out for nearly a year. Looking very sharp as he puts Owen Beck on the floor in round 2. Third round scheduled for 12. Heavyweight elimination affair.
Stop. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Now
You
box.
heard the voice of Aaron Snowell, the trainer in Owen Beck's corner. Man who trained Mike Tyson, Tim Witherspoon, Frankie Randall, Michael Nunn, Julian Jackson, Simon Brown, a veritable who's who of boxing.
You know, for Owen Beck, he needed very much to get a confidence builder in these first 2 rounds. And he was fighting on fairly equal terms with Monte Barrett, fairly equal. But that knockdown sent him a message. We'll see if he can recover from that.
Stop now. Stop. No punch. Thank you. Now box.
Barrett in the red, 30-3, 16 knockouts. Beck in the gold, 24-0, 18 by KO.
Watch your head.
Zab Barrett right. It's a very successful punch for him. You know, both men are doing great work to the body.
A scraping left hook offered up by Barrett too that nailed Beck.
This is a fun, interesting, exciting heavyweight fight. Two guys really going at it and landing lots of punches. Not always the case with heavyweights, but it is right here.
Good action for the big guys. Barrett unquestionably a solid technical fighter. He may not be the prettiest, but he gets the job done.
And Owen Beck still has that habit of dropping his hands, Steve. And when he does that, Barrett has quick enough hands to take advantage with those jabs and often the straight right hands with the hooks.
Barrett on this big stage looking to prove to a lot of people he is an underrated talent.
Well, they both traded hooks right there. Owen Beck threw a really good one, but it didn't move Barrett.
Beck coming on now. What an ebb and flow. It's now Owen Beck in charge.
He may have hurt Barrett with that one hook.
Barrett a bit debilitated. Momentarily, but back comes Barrett. And a right hand by Barrett to the head.
This is stylistically not even close to what we expected. Nice right by Barrett. They are wailing away on the inside. Wow.
Ferocious shots by both.
Stop! Don't hold his head down. Don't hit him when he's down either. Stop! Stop, stop. Keep your head up.
So as we head for the bell for round 3, it has been virtually non-stop action. Right hand that lands by Barrett, right on the temple.
Bell, nice round.
You're swinging too wild. And tell me the only time you get hit. Tell me the only time you get. Okay, so why you keep doing it? Why is you constantly doing it? Give me the other bottle of water. Why are you constantly doing it? Stop pulling out. All right? Good work, but you gotta stop pulling out, Monty. You getting water. Come on, Coach, get me water. Get me water, Coach.
Monte Barrett on the inside. They're throwing kind of a wide left hook, and they're cautioning him against that. He and Beck ripping out. That's the Owen Beck left hook on the inside that hurt Monte Barrett. And Beck used that left hook very effectively. See the wide left hand that Barrett's throwing? That's what they just cautioned him against in the corner. They said when you get hit, when you throw those wide punches. The uppercut's been effective. Here at the end of the round, both men landing very, very good shots. Beck landing some good right hands, not his forte, but mixed with the hook, it won him that round.
As we go into round 4, scheduled
watch
for
your
12.
Head, okay, watch your head, watch your head. Box.
Outstanding action over the first 3 rounds. Beck went down 205 in the second round, set up by a right uppercut followed by a left. Hit the deck after being trapped in the red corner for the final minute 20 of round 2. Beck may have actually looked the fresher of the 2 at the end of round 3. Barrett just wailing.
Stop!
I think the last minute and a half of that round, Steve, did a lot for Owen Beck's confidence because he realized he could hurt Barrett. And Monte Barrett is now doing exactly what his trainer, Deline Parsley, told him not to do. You can't throw those wide punches. I had that in the keys to victory. That always gets Barrett in trouble.
Don't hold his head.
Beck trying to wear Barrett out with body shots. Back comes Barrett. Doesn't seem to bother Beck, who has sort of an unorthodox style.
Stop. Let him out. Let him out.
Owen Beck is a little more cagey in there than what we saw in some of the fights that we looked at when we saw the tapes. He's worked on his defense, and now look at him on the inside, landing some very good shots against Barrett. That's good work on the inside by Beck.
He has power in both hands, but speed is his key. At his best when he could set up his big right hand with the jab. That's a pretty good left hook, too.
Beck has been hurt early in a couple of fights. You mentioned that Paulie had him down. He was hurt in another fight early and came back. So he's showing the resiliency tonight that he showed in those other fights, even against better competition.
Beck ranked number 4 by the WBC. Barrett number 3.
That was low. Stop.
Again, cautioning
You guys
Barrett.
gotta watch your heads. No, that was before that. That was a punch.
Primary mistake in this fight. He's getting lured into trading left hooks with Owen Beck, and his left hook is too wide, and it's not his major punch. Jabs and straight right hands should be the answer for Barrett.
Barrett just got nailed by a right hand. Beck very confident here. You're right, Barrett is more of a boxing heavyweight than a slugging heavyweight who likes to mix it up. There's a little blood, I think, around the left eye.
All right? Let's go together. Let's box.
Barrett on a
that was a punch, guy.
He feels it was a clash of heads, and he's complaining to Jay Nady now.
Yeah, there is now a cut very evident around the left eye. You can see the blood streaking down the left eye of Barrett.
Now we'll have to see if they call it a clash of heads. That'll be very important, needless to say.
Trying to wipe it. It looks like it's getting in the way of his vision on the left side.
And they could go to the scorecards at this juncture, which would probably benefit Barrett because of that knockdown early in the fight.
Break. Stop. He got cut.
How you feeling, champ? You getting real lackadaisical with your jab. Okay? Okay?
All right, dog. Let me see it. Let me hit it first, then you look at it.
Let's stop getting
Let me get it first,
lackadaisical
then you
with
look
the jab. Okay?
I'm gonna work.
You hear me? Stop getting lackadaisical with your jab. You gotta use your jab. You just use your jab. Okay.
I know what you're doing.
Thank you, boss.
That's why I say I want to see it first.
Come on. The jab.
We believe there were a clash of heads here, and we'll see. There's Barrett going to work on the inside. You see the cut is, oh, there's another clash. The cut, that's where the cut really probably got bad, and then another clash of heads exacerbated it. There again, right on that left eye. Now, if they did stop this fight now, Monte Barrett might be in better shape. He might want this stop, just as we saw Klitschko against DeVar Williamson get the fight stopped, and it worked for them.
Yeah, after the end of the 4th round, they go to the scorecards with an accidental headbutt. And you saw the 2 of them, but Barrett with one of the best in the business as his cut man, Jimmy Glenn.
Jimmy is a legendary figure in boxing from New York.
So it's round 5. And we'll see if the cut becomes a factor.
Stop.
And we have now been told there was no ruling that the clash of heads did it. That is vital now. That's very important. They're ruling that there wasn't a clash of heads, that it was a punch. They didn't see it. And so as a result, Monte Barrett has got an issue, because if that cut opens up, he could lose this fight. This is a tough spot for Barrett.
But blood streaking down from the left eye.
That's a bad cut.
Really looking ugly now.
Time! Go to that corner. Get over here.
Dr. Reynold Caldwell, the chief ringside physician, being called in.
Make the round start back next round. You need to stop.
Okay, well, all right. Time in. Box.
They continue.
If, in fact, as we've been told, that was not ruled a clash of heads, Monte Barrett needs to make something very dramatic happen.
Barrett with a lot on his plate here as he just got a glimpse of press row.
Stop. Let him go. Let him go.
Press row with Barrett ahead.
I have him ahead 29-27.
Let him out, let him out, let him, don't hold him down.
Midway through the fifth, things getting very dramatic here from Monte Barrett as Owen Beck plays target practice with the cut area.
Stop. Stop.
So this fight now coming down to a grinding halt, but back comes Barrett, who wakes everybody up all of a sudden.
Stop!
I should say my score is 38-37 for Monte Barrett. And of course this round's a tough one for him.
But very game. We talked about how he has faced adversity in the ring in the past, been very durable and hung in there under tough conditions. Well, he's doing it again. Remember, he went down a half a dozen times against Vladimir Klitschko and survived until the 7th round. He's a survivor.
Stop, stop, stop. Let him go.
Monte Barrett has made this a much more difficult fight for himself now. And part of the reason why those clash of heads happened is because he was willing to maul and brawl in the inside, Steve. He should have been on the outside, throwing jabs and straight right hands. And maybe those clash of heads wouldn't have happened. So strategic errors on the part of Monte Barrett.
Stop, stop.
So these are all learning experiences, but it could come back to haunt him. And don't forget, he's not a kid. He's 33.
Hey, Doc. You get the white look, stand in the corner.
Monte, you got to move your head. You got to move your head, Monte. I'm not going for too much more of this. Country. Here, clean this. I'm not going for too much more of this, Faye. If you don't move your head and get this guy out of here, I'm not going for too much more, right? Come on.
Get done, Doc.
You in shape. You in shape, all right? You got to let your hands go a little more, Tay. You got to move your hands and move from side to side. Move from side to side. Stop standing straight in front of me. Trying to load up with one punch.
Move your hand.
Come on. Stop trying to load up with one punch, Tay. You working all them combinations. Okay. Come on, don't keep telling me okay. You got to do it.
You got to do it.
You got to do it, baby. We're working all them combinations, moving our head, having fun. Let's have a little fun now. All right? If you need to have a little fun this round, have a little fun this round, but punch off the round.
I'll extend the rest for you, Doctor.
And joining us this month, filling in for Jim Gray, here's Steve
Okay, come on,
Barhood.
you guys.
Steve, I checked with Jay Nady. He ruled that cut over Monte Barrett's left eye was opened initially by a punch, not a butt. And he said a butt made it worse and opened the cut. Then I went to Tim Luckenhoff, who's the administrator in charge here. He said if the fight was stopped because of the cut, it would be a TKO win for Owen Beck. Back to you, Steve.
All right, thanks very much. Well, Jay Nady is the closest to the scene, so we have to respect what he saw and what he said.
And you may have seen it. You know, we saw a clash of heads, but it's possible a punch could start it, and then the clash of heads made it worse. So, and they didn't complain that loudly in the Monte Barrett corner about it. So we'll see.
Well, Blimp Parsley said to Barrett, he said, if you don't move your head, I'm going to stop the fight. He's the trainer for Monte Barrett. It seems like they've done a better job here of keeping that cut under.
You can't grab like that.
You know, for Owen Beck at age 28, facing what really amounts to his first major opponent, you got to give him credit. He suffered through adversity in those first 2 rounds. He was down, he was hurt, and yet he was able to persevere.
And you may have noticed between rounds in the corner just before, there were 2 cuts, one below and one above the eye. Of course, the one above the eye is the more damaging. Here's a nice left hook. Barrett is game. Got a lot of heart. Break! Under duress. With blood going into his left eye, still firing those hooks.
You know what's impressive about Owen Beck right now, Steve? He's doing a very workmanlike job. He's not getting crazy, you know, but here comes Barrett.
Going to the body, back comes Beck with a left.
Watch your head.
Frenetic exchanges. Now Barrett with Beck on the ropes, not where Beck wants to be, but he fights his way out again. That's what got him into trouble last time in the second round when he went down. And a slicing, cutting right hand up the side of Barrett's head.
You know what's astonishing? That cut's not really bleeding badly in this round.
Amazing.
Jimmy Glenn will get the cut man of the year award for this one.
And it's only February.
There you go.
We approach 30 seconds left in the section. Again, the heads come together.
No jabs from Monte Barrett. In fact, nobody's throwing jabs, and that's a big issue at this point in this fight.
More surprising, I think, from Barrett.
Yes. Let him up, let him up, let him up. Keep your head up.
Barrett checks over in his corner. Again, Jay Nady, who's one of the best over from Las Vegas.
Watch your head. Watch your head.
Them to watch
Stop.
The head.
Stop, stop, stop. I know it's close. It's close. Stop.
Now the blood reappears just at the end of the round.
There you go. There you go, champ. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
Put it on his face.
There you go.
Yeah, take the mouthpiece right.
Country.
Yo.
Give me a bottle of water, baby. That's all you got to do. Stay smart. Make him run into something. You know, he's just as tired as you are. I don't even think you're tired. He may be a little more tired, but you got to keep the movement. Keep the side by side and short shots, all right? Stop looking for them big shots in one shot. Once you hit them hard, go right back to what you started with. Don't go back with the wild shots. Bop out, hit on the right hand, set it back up the jab, and the next hard shot on top, all right? I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you. I'm on my job, baby. I just need you to stay on the job.
All right? 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to don't load up. Let it come. Work. Remember them short shots? Get them short shots off, all right? You're doing good.
So here we go, round 7. Barrett's gone past 615 times in his career, and he's got a good record. He's 12-3, and he's got a better level of opposition. Beautiful jab, a shotgun jab by Monte Barrett to begin the 7th.
Beck, on the other hand, has little experience going past 6 rounds. Only 2 fights.
Only twice. He's 2-0 with a knockout. Came in the 8th.
No. Stop, stop, stop. Yeah, keep your head up now.
Jimmy Glenn doing a superb job on that cut. Around the left eye of Barrett in the red. A hammering right hand by Beck on the head of Barrett. Now Barrett staying away more, dancing.
Well, now that was a headbutt. It was not unintentional, but you got to watch out.
You hear again the words of Jay Nady trying to manage this affair. Telling Owen Beck, I know it wasn't on purpose, but you got to be careful, Owen. As for scoring, 2 of them have Beck ahead by 1 point. Cameron Holloway has Barrett up by 3. Holloway from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
I've got it even at 57-57. So you can see that this is a pretty close fight.
Greg Leon from BoxingTalk.com. Ludo Signs from FightNews.com.
There's a right hand from Barrett. We haven't seen too many of those straight right hands because he's languished on the inside with Owen Beck for good portions of this fight. Now, at 30, we say what's on the line in this fight. At 33, more is on the line for Barrett. A loss here tonight really virtually assures him of not, maybe never getting a world title shot if you want to be dramatic.
Big right hand to the head by Barrett that momentarily dazed Beck. But Beck stands right into another right and another, followed by a left hook upstairs. And it's all Barrett here in round 7.
You know, a lot of those are arm punches. That's why Beck's still coming forward.
But again, you're right. They're wide type punches.
You got a little cut on
if
your
he can straighten those out, he could end it here.
They're showy punches, but that's why Owen Beck, you see, he's not hurt. He's still standing. Now, he may lose this round because of it, but it didn't hurt him badly.
Looks good to the crowd, but not effective enough to the opponent.
Stop. All right? Don't grab him. Keep your head up.
We're headed for an interesting finish in this fight, though.
Scheduled for 12, a heavyweight elimination fight.
Watch your head, Beck.
IBF, WBC.
Stop. That's 10-second bell. Stop. Nice job.
Look, remember I told you, Owen, don't get careless. He's desperate. If you won't carry your hands down here, he's gonna catch you with stuff. You're sitting right in front of them, and you're not busy.
Okay.
You're trying to load up.
Okay.
It's simple to hit, man. You're doing so good. Don't blow it. Don't blow it like that. Don't blow it like that. All right?
This was where Jay Nady cautioned them about a clash of heads. There it is, and right on the eye that has been damaged. Monte Barrett looking to Nady, very concerned about that. But Monte Barrett had some good moments in that last round, and that was an important round for him, a pivotal one, so he could get back in the fight. He landed some pretty good punches against Owen Beck.
Drop down to the body and back upstairs. Let's get out of here.
The final words of Flint Parsley, let's get out of here, which means put the man away and let's go home. It's round 8.
You know, early in this match, Steve, we saw some very effective body work by both men, but they have really stopped doing that now. They're head hunting, and their technique has gone a little bit south on them.
Yeah, both of them have taken sort of a detour from their usual styles of boxing.
Stop! Stop!
They are just winging punches. Barrett is getting out of a hole where he switches here now to switch momentarily to southpaw. Now he goes back.
And he went back. He was just saying it. He wanted to trick you.
I think he would prefer to trick Owen Beck, but he got me for a second. There's an uppercut to the jaw of Beck. And Beck was like a deer caught in the headlights for a moment. But Barrett didn't follow up.
Owen Beck's hands are so low. And we see Barrett taking advantage of that a little bit. But Monte Barrett is really not hurting him that badly. Now, he's probably again winning this round, as I suspect he did the last one, with those punches. And so, whether he's hurt or not, Owen Beck can't keep taking those. Because he's not working hard enough, as Aaron Snow pointed out to Beck. He's just not busy enough for these rounds.
He said, hey, Barrett's right there in front of you.
Hold it.
And as we pointed out, this is not an area of territory that Beck is used to being in. He just doesn't go long into his fights.
He averages just 3 rounds per fight, does Beck. Beck in the gold with the black trim. Monte Barrett averages about 6 rounds.
I'm here to stop.
Now, Barrett is staying on the outside a little more in this round. It's been effective for him. He's jabbing from the outside, even giving a little lateral movement to Beck. That would be the ticket for him, I would think, especially to protect that eye.
Don't grab, guys.
It's not the first time Barrett has switched to southpaw. He did it against, I noticed he did it against Joe Macy after he was dropped. He dropped Macy for the first time in Macy's career. Here's the jab by Beck. Oh, a right hand by Beck, right on the nose. Literally.
And that punch, too, a little bit wide. Had it been a little straighter, it would have done a lot more damage. But still, it got the attention of Monte Barrett.
Stop.
And Barrett has had a very good round 8. The question is, will a punch like that stick in the judge's mind when it happens in the last 25 seconds?
Barrett showing a pretty good shot. Another right hand by Beck. A very heavy right hand. And Barrett continues to show a good beard. Well, that is a tough round to score.
Back to the body with 2 hard ones. You keep showing me that right hand to the body. Show me the right hand to the body one time and bring it over. All right? If he's looking for you to go to the body, that's why I want you to set that up. Act like you want to go to the body and turn it right over. You hear me? What you got?
Monte Barrett has shown both the right and left uppercut. Now, you make the judgment whether, after Beck does this, is he posturing to try and make Barrett think he's hurt or what? Anyway, it was a great uppercut. Owen Beck using the jab as a rangefinder, and it would set up this overhand right. That was the first of 2 big overhand rights in that round. Here's the second one. That one was straighter and even better punch. Will those 2 punches pull out that round for Owen Beck? That's an interesting question.
Close. Round 9. In a very interesting fight of heavyweights.
Stop.
Elimination affair. The winner could possibly be in position to go at it with IBF heavyweight champ Chris Bird, or the winner of Vitaly Klitschko Hasim Rahman. Klitschko Vitaly, the WBC champ.
Now there's what they want from Owen Beck, working very well on the inside with the body and the head.
That was low.
And Monte Barrett again strategically, I think, making an error by languishing on the inside with Beck. We'll see. Oh, that was a beautiful body shot by Barrett.
A wicked body shot, which could be heard in the last row.
There's an indication of the record of these fighters when they go past 8 rounds. Clearly, as we pointed out, Barrett much more experienced in going longer distances. But in this round, Beck has found some additional energy.
Keep your head up.
Beck down in the second round. Down for only the second time in his career. This is 25th fight. He's 24-0 with 18 knockouts. Barrett in the red, 30-3, 16 knockouts, but his first fight in 11 months. But 7-1 over his last 8.
Now box.
Barrett with the better level of opposition over time.
Stop. Watch your head. Watch your head.
This has been a very good round for Owen Beck, and one that I think he needed because Barrett was starting to take control of this fight.
And as you say it, Barrett coming on strong here at the end of the round.
Oh, he's getting those uppercuts in a lot now. I think he's got Beck a little shook, but he can't get to him.
Big shots by Barrett has Beck bouncing off the ropes. Barrett looking to end it here. Another heavy right hand. These are ferocious shots, and down goes Beck.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You all right? Are you sure?
Beck gets up at 7. Can he make it for the final 20 seconds? Jay Nady looking very closely. There's another big right, another one. Nady almost went in. Now he wipes it out. It's over. As Beck goes down for the second time this round, the third time of the fight. A tremendous display of heart, durability, and courage by Monte Barrett.
That probably wasn't Monte Barrett's technically most perfect performance, but all the attributes you just gave him, he deserved. He persevered through an atrociously bad cut, some difficulty in those middle rounds, and was able to get back and beat Owen Beck. Monte Barrett is a man in that ring, let me tell you. And the fact that Owen Beck had not been into these later rounds, Steve, certainly played a big role in this. He just wasn't quite ready to sustain over 12 rounds.
So Monte Barrett, after an 11-month layoff, continuing to roll. You see the frustration on the face of Owen Beck. All glee from Monte Barrett as he gets on the rope apron and gets saluted by the crowd. Now Eaton won his last 9, handing Owen Beck his first loss, and wins this IBF WBC heavyweight eliminator at the age of 33, lifting his record to 31-3 with 17 KOs. Meanwhile, so much for Beck's unblemished record. He falls to 24-1.
The mental mistakes. Keep your hands up.
Aaron Snowell continues to instruct even after the defeat.
Just relax. Yeah. Thanks for letting me be there. Get this on. Yeah.
You see the badge of courage around his left eye. So Barrett now in a position to meet IBF heavyweight champ Chris Bird, or the winner of the WBC title fight between Vitaly Klitschko and Hasim Rahman. Of course, he got knocked down half a dozen times by Vitaly's brother Vladimir in a 7th round TKO loss.
Monte Barrett got Owen Beck in trouble. With that left hook started it, and it landed, I think, on the temple, and that hurt the equilibrium of Owen Beck. And then the uppercut, which was a very big weapon during the course of this fight. And once Beck was in trouble on the ropes, Barrett wasn't as precise as he would like to be, but hey, he got the job done because he was able to land some of those big punches, even if they were wide. There was a good straight right hand. That was the first of the 2 knockdowns of Owen Beck. And Monte Barrett, while he wasn't as artistic as he would like, certainly threw those punches with lots of power. The second knockdown, when Beck, with only seconds remaining in the round, Beck was almost able to survive the round, but there would be, I believe, a right hand. There's the right hand that really hurt him, and followed by a very short left hook. That was a very well delivered left hook by Barrett, and at this juncture, Jay Nady had seen enough, and rightfully so.
Monte Barrett treating Owen Beck like a rag doll in that last round as he went down 2 times, one earlier back in round 2. So Monte Barrett continues to exult as he improves to 31-3 with 17 knockouts. And he hears it from the crowd.
Hey, yo, baby, come on.
Let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes 52 seconds in round number 9. Our referee in charge, Jay Nady, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout, Monte "Two Guns" Barrett.
So a 9th round technical knockout for Monte Barrett, who goes back to Jamaica, Queens, victorious. And coming up next from St. Louis, Missouri, our main event, as hometown hero Cory Spinks defends his undisputed welterweight championship in the rematch against former junior welterweight champion Zab Judah. There's the famous arch along the muddy Mississippi River here, the gateway to the West, St. Louis, Missouri. And we're getting set for the marquee matchup, the rematch between undisputed champion Cory Spinks and Zab Judah. Set for post-fight reaction. Let's go to Steve Farhood in the ring. Steve?
Monte, that is one nasty cut. Were you aware of the fact that the referee ruled a punch opened that cut? If he stops the fight, you lose on TKO?
Yes. First, I'd like to give thanks to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. This victory is for him. I want to give thanks to my bishop, Ebenezer Adequah, and Pastor Lawrence Sanders from Brooklyn.
Okay.
And all the congregation that supported me in this struggle. 7.5 years, I am here. I have arrived. I want to say to my 4 beautiful daughters and my son that I love them. And what's up to Jared and Zach and Prince and RJ. I love y'all guys.
You sound like you won the Oscar.
I did. 7.5 years, baby. Let's
take a look, Monte, here at the monitor. This is where the
beautiful still, baby.
This is where the cut was open. Watch.
Yeah. I mean, my son is Jamaican.
There you go. See?
They got some hard heads. Woo!
So if the fight gets stopped there or after that, you lose on TKO. What's your reaction to that?
Let me tell you, this is God's act. Owen Beck was just a pawn in this. I was a prophet from my mother's womb.
Did the referee indicate to you, though, Monte?
Nobody can stop my victory.
Did the referee indicate to you that he ruled it as a punch?
I got a very big Gardo. And you know what? My whole camp, Arthur Dennis, Blimp, a.k.a. the big man eating everything in the camp, Stan Hoffman, Country, and all my guys, all my sparring partners, Jimmy Glenn, my father, the father of solo boxing, and the king of it all.
Monte, let's get back to the fight.
Baby, he the black Jerry Maguire of the boxing. He gonna show me the money. He got all the champs. So I want them all, baby.
You disagree with Jay Nady's call that it was
I do, but you know what? I'm a fighter, I'm a warrior. I have to stick in there, and I have to show guts and determination. This is the war, baby. I got the armor guard protecting me. Nobody gonna stop my victory.
Let's take a look. This is the first knockdown. The first knockdown of the last round.
I'm relentless, baby. I got hands of steel, baby. 2 guns. I got it, baby. I got it. Zab Judah next. Baby, we're going to bring it home.
Monty, was the difference that you had been the route so many times and he hadn't? Was that a key?
Hey, no, this guy, before the excellent fight, I never... He gave me a lot of motivation. A lot of motivation for this fight because he talked so much. He talked me into shape. He talked me into focus and determination because I didn't know Owen Beck. You know, I didn't know him, but you know what? I know him tonight. He's a great fighter. He's got a long career ahead of him, but I'm on a whole nother level. I fought, my last 3 opponents were 71-1. His last opponents was 95-45. And I want to say what's up to Golden Palace for sponsoring me. I love you, baby. I'm putting all the money on you, baby.
Monty, last year you came close to getting a fight with Klitschko after beating Gwynn, and now this fight, this year, championship fight?
Yes. I mean, this is what we signed with Don King for. I want to say what's up to my boy Josh and all my family, friends, and loved ones. And I want to say that I signed with Don King on one purpose only, for him to show me the money and bring me the title. He got the belts. He the man of the hour. He going to tell me how to get these belts. I respect Chris Bird the most out of all the champions. He beat Vitaly Klitschko. Whether he quit or whether he got knocked out, he beat him. He showed a lot of guts for Jamel McClain. I would love to fight Chris Bird. I would love to fight Klitschko if he stopped ducking me, or he going to get knocked out by my man Rock. It don't make a difference at this point. I want to wish Lateman Brewster good luck on his fight with Galata, and Ruiz is a good champ as well.
All right, Monte Barrett looking for Chris Bird. Let's go back to ringside and Steve.
Jesus Christ is with me, baby.
All right, Steve, thanks very much. Monty can talk. Let's see how the scoring went for Barrett versus Beck. First, the official judges' scorecards when the fight was stopped in round 9. And 2 out of the 3 judges had it for Barrett. Bob Lowe just had Beck ahead, Al.
Yeah, I had Barrett ahead by 2 points, and of course he would have won the 9th, so he was starting to pull away.
And now we segue to the press row scores. Let's see. Cameron Holloway had Barrett by 3 at the time of the stoppage. Greg Leon had Barrett by 1, and Ludo Saenz had Barrett by 1 as well. Let's go back and take a look at that last exciting 9th round from here in St. Louis. The determining round for Monte Barrett.
Coming into this round, Monte Barrett had started to exert a little bit of control. But there was not a lot of foreshadowing, and he was ready to knock back out. But he was throwing some big wild punches. Now there's the uppercut. That was a big weapon for Barrett. He landed about 4 or 5 great uppercuts in this fight, but that one did the most damage.
There's that right hand again. And Beck sprawled out on the canvas.
Very aggressive Monte Barrett. You know, we said at the beginning, one of the things he needed to show in this fight was passion. He did show that. There's no question about that. At this point, Owen Beck just had no defensive skills to go on, and he was not used to being in the 9th round, not a territory he normally saw, and so it just was too much for him, the pressure of Monte Barrett.
You hear Jay Nady's words, the fight's over, and it was for Owen Beck. It's been a very good year for this man, Monte Barrett, winning tonight and going on The Price is Right. He won there too, a trip to China.
He is a double winner tonight. A very important night for Monte Barrett at age 33. Put himself back in the sweepstakes for a championship match.
So all we can say now is Monte Barrett, come on down.